From giant spherical balls hidden in the forest to smiling pottery, to advanced tools nobody can figure out how to use, these are the weirdest discoveries archaeologists have made. Let's tell you about them all. Paleo burrows up on a mob first, we have one of the weirdest archaeological discoveries ever made. This discovery was strange because it wasn't made by any human, but by giant animals. In the 2000s, Brazilian geologists began finding strange caves. Most had level floors and long arched tunnels that wound into complex underground networks of exits, chambers, and passageways. They did not appear to have been made by any natural geological event. Something found on the ceilings and walls offered a clue. Massive grooves crisscrossed the surface, and closer examination determined that these were ancient claw marks. What makes the whole thing so strange is the scope of the so-called paleo burrows. They are huge, even for the extinct giant sloths or armadillos that are the suspected architects. The biggest burrow was found in Rondônia in the Amazon. The combined length of its passages was 610 meters, 2,000 feet. The primary tunnels were once 1.8 meters, 6 feet high, and at most 1.5 meters, 5 feet wide. Over the course of its creation, which took generations of diggers, the creatures removed 4,000 metric tons from the hill. There is no explanation for why the animals needed the elaborate shelters, or why there are none in North America where giant sloths and armadillos also roamed thousands of years ago. Voynich manuscript. One of the most talked about books of the 20th century was an ancient text that no one could read. Discovered by an antique bookseller in 1912, the Voynich manuscript is a 250-page book written in an unknown alphabet and illustrated with a range of images, from female nudes to medicinal herbs and zodiac signs. The book, which is currently housed at Yale University's Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library, dates back some 600 years and was likely written in Central Europe, according to researchers. While some scholars believe the book is simply a Renaissance-era hoax full of unintelligible words, there are some who think the book's text is written in an unknown language. Others believe the book lays out some kind of code that is yet to be cracked. Stephen Bax, a professor of applied linguistics at the University of Bedfordshire in England, claimed to have deciphered 14 of the Voynich manuscript's characters in February 2014. The book is most likely a treatise on nature, written in a Near Eastern or Asian language, according to Bax. The Hobbits? Some scientific discoveries are truly stranger than fiction, case in point. The 2003 discovery of hobbits on the remote Indonesian island of Flores. No, scientists didn't stumble upon a real-world version of the Shire, but they did uncover the bones of the petite ancient hominin called Homo floresiensis, which they quickly dubbed the Hobbit. The first Homo floresiensis skeleton ever discovered belonged to a 3.5-foot tall, or 1.6 meters, 30-year-old adult female. At first, researchers believed the diminutive bones may have belonged to a human with microcephalia, a condition characterized by a small head and short stature. But later discoveries of similarly sized skeletons suggested that the Hobbit isn't just a tiny human, it's its own species. Yet, Homo floresiensis' exact place in the family tree of hominids, human ancestors, is still a mystery. Disappearance of the Sangsing Due. Not every perplexing archaeological discovery is made by a seasoned archaeologist. In 1929, a man repairing a sewage ditch in China's Sichuan province uncovered a treasure trove of jade and stone artifacts. These treasures found their way into the hands of private collectors. And in 1986, archaeologists working in the area unearthed 2 more pits full of Bronze Age treasures, including jade, elephant tusks, and bronze sculptures. But who created these hidden wonders? Researchers now believe that members of the Sangsing Due civilization, a culture that collapsed between 3,000 and 2,800 years ago, made the artifacts. Archaeologists now know that the Sangsing Due once inhabited a walled city along the banks of the Minjiang River. But why they left this city and why they buried so many artifacts in pits before absconding is the source of much speculation among researchers. In 2014, researchers presented one idea suggesting that an earthquake 3,000 years ago may have rerouted the city's river, causing the inhabitants to move. That is, however, just a speculation at best with no concrete answer to the mystery yet. The Cockno Stone. There are some discoveries that are just bizarre and have baffled researchers studying them. In 2016, archaeologists in Glasgow, Scotland, excavated a 5,000-year-old stone slab and its enigmatic history. The so-called Cockno Stone measures 43 feet by 26 feet, 13 by 8 meters, and contains swirling patterns known as cup and ring marks that have also been identified at prehistoric sites in other parts of the world. The slab may be an example of ancient artwork, according to archaeologists at the University of Glasgow. Researchers who studied the Concho stone in the 1930s believed the stone's inscriptions may have been linked to astronomical phenomena, like eclipses. But some don't think that's the case. A team of researchers is currently studying the stone more closely to discern how prehistoric people may have used it. Superhenge. Many of you may have heard of Stonehenge, the prehistoric megalithic structure on Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, England, that has baffled scientists. But did you know there's another massive stone monument located just 2 miles, 3.2 kilometers away? The huge monument, which is made up of a collection of stone monoliths, was unearthed in 2015. Archaeologists found the monoliths beneath the bank of the Durrington Walls, a grass-covered circular embankment. This superhenge was probably part of a huge Neolithic monument of some sort, according to researchers. Archaeologists aren't sure of the stone's original purpose, but they believe that the 15-foot-tall slabs once stood upright before they were pushed over some 4,500 years ago. The giant monument stands at the site of a natural depression near the Avon River, and it's possible that the stones once helped form a C-shaped arena where springs and a valley led down to the river. Stone spheres in Costa Rica. Over the years, scientists have unearthed several mysterious stone structures that have baffled and left them scratching their heads. However, there's one unusual stone structure deep in the jungles of Central America that has left everyone in awe and mystery. Giant stone spheres, some dating as far back as AD 600. Pepper the Diquis Delta of southern Costa Rica. Known locally as Las Bolas or the Bulls, these monuments were the works of a pre-Columbian civilization, and most are made from gabbro, a rock that forms from molten magma. The people who carved the stones into their perfectly spherical shapes likely did so using other small stones, according to archaeologists who study the ancient rocks. Many non-experts have speculated that the so-called Diquis spheres were used for astronomical purposes, while others think they may have pointed the way to significant places. The truth is that no one knows for sure, and perhaps this historical mystery will never be solved. The Chibchan people who once populated Costa Rica and other parts of Central America vanished in the wake of the Spanish conquest, and the purpose of the spheres vanished with them. The Smiley Pot Up. Next, we have an archaeological discovery that isn't as mysterious as the others on this list. This one, though, is sure to leave a smile on your face. It's not often that one encounters an ancient potter with a sense of humor. A 4,000-year-old pot has archaeologists smiling because of an unexpected discovery on its surface. In 2017, when it was unearthed in Turkey near the Syrian border, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. It was another shattered vessel from a site that has seen 7 years of excavations and plenty of artifacts. The restoration team pieced together the big-bellied pot and noticed something very familiar to people today. A smiley face. Sometime around 1700 BC, somebody dotted a pair of eyes into the wet clay and underlined it with a smile. The white vessel with its single handle was used to drink sherbet, a sweet liquid. While its purpose was clear, it might never be known why the artist added the happy expression. Even so, the image is now considered history's oldest smile. The site, Carchemish, once belonged to the Hittites, a Canaanite nation. It was also there that the Battle of Carchemish was fought. This clash, which occurred in 605 BC, was recorded in the Bible in Jeremiah 46:2. So, there you have it. The weirdest finds in ancient ruins. Which one of these surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.